What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. The book entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father. Amazon Kindle creates space. Today I'm going to talk about a protest and then followed by shootings. And I'm going to put a lot of things into this, so I'm going to talk faster on subject. So Colin Kaepernick starts a protest. Then other players join in. Then there's the backlash. Then other players join in, and there's more backlash. And then the president says we need to vote for Hillary, or it's a shot to his legacy. You see, to me, all these things are interconnected. Then the shootings start. The people who were saying it's unpatriotic and disrespectful to the flag and disrespectful to the veterans, which none of those people are just honestly racist and want people to just sit back and take it like so they can have some kind of superiority complex. But that's what that is. But when these shootings occurred, nothing. Brother got shot in Tulsa, brother got shot in Charlotte, I want to say. One car broke down, the other reading a book. Now it's a riot in Charlotte. But all these protesters, here's the thing. You don't hear, and I waited a couple of days. I don't hear James Harrison. He was quick to say one thing. They was quick to put him in the media to say it. Don't hear him right now. Don't hear Rodney Harrison right now. Ray Lewis got on TV today and they're still trying to toe the line. And I'm like, you can't be on the fence all the time, dude. Stop. I'm not saying you got to pick a side, but I'm just saying, you're hard. You're hard on the black side of town, and you're lenient on the white side of town. If you're gonna be fair all the way across the board. Stop playing. Who else was talking crazy? Jason Whitlock. Don't hear him right now. And this is the issue, that so many people jump up. So many of our own jump up to stop it. Y'all don't know what y'all talking about. But then when life puts the flip side of that coin that they were talking about, the Kaepernick was talking about on display, all of a sudden the same people that was talking all that stuff not talking no more. Now take that to the president, his legacy. I ain't heard the president yet. And, somebody say they coming out of the closet and they gay, he can call them immediately. Hey, man, you're a hero. When this stuff happens, but a couple of days ago, we need to vote for Hillary. That's an insult. But this, which is his normal behavior, is an insult on a regular basis. Never to put any policy in place. And then to say to vote for Hillary, who in her younger days, the brothers that got shot would have looked like the super predators she was talking about. They need to be put to heel. So, people not feeling that. On top of that, the police in this situation. He was reaching in the car, but the windows was rolled up. He was on PCP. Who's on PCP nowadays, really? And if y'all didn't know anything about PCP, you would know that's not how people on PCP act. But, of course, but I would be a bet man and say, if they actually handle investigations with cops shooting people properly like they do other murders, if they fingerprinted the PCP, I bet they wouldn't have that guy's fingerprints on it. If they did a toxicology, I bet you he wouldn't have PCP in the system. The car was stalled. He was just coming from school. Come to find out, they say he's a pastor too. So even hypothetically speaking, they go from a guy on PCP to a pastor, okay, on one end you could say he's on it, on the next end you could say he got it off of somebody to tell him to get off of drugs. But like I said, if you fingerprint it, I bet you're not gonna find his fingerprints on it. But that's a whole nother story. The guy in the helicopter, he looks like a big bad dude. It's funny how all of these people in law enforcement have all of these hunches that are not true with black people, but they know their protocol and they're training with everybody else. That's why I say the training part, because dude just was setting off bombs and got in a shootout, but you knew your training kicked in. In the same city that when you change the color of that person, y'all have no training. Y'all don't know you don't know the difference between a taser, a gun, a chokehold that's illegal, arresting somebody regular, or shooting at somebody 47 times. Yeah, it's not the training, it's the people. Because, do you see white people getting this? No. And when I bring up the white people, that's for a reason. Because white people will say, more white people get shot by the police than black people. And numbers wise, you could say yes. The only problem is these white people you talking about, for the most part, walking around with guns, getting in shootouts, walking around with knives, axes, eating people's face, just shot up a church, a mall, a movie theater, or threatening police officers with a gun, or having hostages. Like, the only one time I seen a white dude just got totally did bad was when a guy was walking. He didn't even know what was going on because it wasn't about him, with his headphones on. And they shot him, talking about he's reaching for... No. At the end of the day, these police officers know they can get away with murder. Paid leave, keep your job, you work in law enforcement, kill people. Which brings me to the story about the guy in St. Louis that they just found out had a thumb drive of him killing somebody 5 years ago with a with a gun that wasn't authorized. So he's carrying around a gun, killing people, and I'm sure that's not the only person he killed with that gun, or killed in general, and kept the evidence. Now the question is, why was he keep the evidence for this long? He's around showing people his murder of this black dude like O-Dog, in my opinion. That's how he got caught. Because, hey, everybody needs to know that I killed these guys. I bring it up to say this. People don't understand, the more these cameras on these police officers, the black on black crime numbers are going to slowly die down. Because with a lot of this black on black crime, it's not black on black. It's black on black, black, Hispanic on black, Asian on black, Arab would still be Asian, Middle Eastern, whatever, on black, police on black. Just all lumped into black on black crime. Because you can pin it on black people. You can just say black people did it. People will believe you. And why I said it about the cop is, who knows how many people he shot with them dirty guns he had, and blamed it on this gang shooting. You know this all the time. That's how people get killed like that. People get drugs planted on them like that. This is nothing new, okay? Nothing new. Which brings up another story with what do you call that? A protester who got jammed up by the cops, and they took his phone while he was recording him, and they didn't realize the phone was still recording, and they was trying to figure out a way to lock the cat up and give the cat tickets. They was making up the story. So that's a whole, that shows another dynamic of it. Now, when it comes to these shootings that I'm talking about, here's the irony. A lot of these shootings are not crimes. That's why they have to say, back in 1986, oh, he broke a skateboard. Yeah, he had a speeding ticket in 93. Yeah, he smoked weed in 88 at a Rick James concert. Yeah, he's got to be a criminal. Because, think about it. Crawford wasn't a crime. Rice wasn't a crime. This guy stalled out wasn't a crime. Reading a book wasn't a crime. Eating a sandwich wasn't a crime. Remember the old man that got accosted in Walmart because he was walking in with his handgun that was concealed. White dude jumped him. That wasn't a crime. Zimmerman, at the end of the day, wasn't a crime. And I mean, Trayvon wasn't committing a crime. You know what I'm saying? They say Mike Brown, and then you're looking at Darren Wilson like, the way all this stuff is going, but we told you this already. You know, Garner wasn't a crime. And for all you people that said, yes, it was, let me tell you something. Something you get a ticket for is not a crime. That's it's a violation. You don't get arrested for a ticket, okay? You know, getting pulled over in the car, it's not really a crime, it's a ticket. You know, these are not criminals we're talking about in the act of criminality. So, at the end of the day, this is what people are doing for a living. They murderers for a living. So, that's just what I think about it. Oh yeah, and brothers, some of us, we need to worry about what's going on with our community and not be infighting right now. I'm just saying. Peace.